Welcome to the Waterboy and Equipment Manager post Game 4 reactions pod. My name is Saif Basaria.
My name is Shaban Samani.
I'm Case Charania.
And the Lakers have now taken a 3-1 lead over the Miami Heat. They won Game 4, 102-96 in what was a very defensive, chippy, and honestly quite fatigued on both sides kind of game. The players just
before
looked
we go
less
on,
energy.
big shout outs to Seattle Storm. You know, they
Yeah,
won the
absolutely.
WNBA championship today. They swept. I forget who, but I
It was
know
the
they
Aces.
swept the reigning
Las
MVP.
Vegas. Las Vegas.
I knew it was the Aces, but I couldn't remember the city.
Yeah, Las
And
Vegas.
as a Raiders fan, I'm disappointed in myself, but it happens.
This is
they were the best team all year for those that watch
dude.
the NBA and keep up with it. They were the favorites to win the championship coming into the year, so it's not a huge surprise that they have won. But you have to play the game and you have to win it, and they did. And so, yeah, big props, big shout out to them. Shaban, did you want to hit on this?
Yeah, it sucks because this is the second finals loss in a row for the Aces, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Is it really? I actually did not know.
Yeah, two in a row.
That's unfortunate.
Damn. Yeah, and they got swept this time. But shout out to Sue Bird that this is her fourth NBA. This is her fourth WNBA championship.
You want to guess what
absolute
year?
legend.
Do you know what year of her career she's in?
I want to say her 11th year.
17th year, fourth championship.
God
Wait, what?
Damn.
Who else is in their 17th year, potentially about to win his fourth championship?
Of course.
Rajon Rondo.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, it's LeBron James, who's also pretty good at basketball, like super. Breanna Stewart, Finals MVP. Fantastic.
Her second Finals MVP. Yeah, her second Finals MVP, and this came off of the year after she tore her Achilles. So yeah, she's literally Kevin Durant.
Dude, well,
scoring style.
She might be better.
She might be better.
She might be better.
No,
we don't know how KD's gonna play.
Her scoring style, like her ability to shoot the ball, is very Kevin Durant, but her post game is much better than Kevin Durant. Her post game is unbelievable. She is an incredible basketball player. And quite frankly, it's no surprise that she's a Finals MVP, one of the best basketball players in the game. But anyway, let's jump back to the NBA with the Lakers defeating the Miami Heat 102-96. Like I said, in a very chippy, physical game. There was definitely moments of serious fatigue in this game. You could see that back-to-back schedule for the better part of 3 months or so has really worn down some of these guys.
Hey, extra day off incoming.
I mean, hey, now we wait till Friday to get another game. I think
so this is actually how I saw this whole series playing out. And I like this game more than most people. I like defensive basketball.
Oh, you're saying you expected this for the last three games previous?
I thought each and every single game was going to be like this. It was just going to be a battle, offense, defense, whatever it was. No easy buckets.
Yeah. It seemed like the role players came alive this game too.
It definitely felt like that for sure. Let's jump into the Lakers because I think we're already ready to talk about it. So let's talk about it. The Lakers won the game. They did not cover the spread. The 7.5. Tyler Herro made a
Tyler Herro
bucket at the very garbage time of the game. What 8 seconds?
So close, bro. 1.2 seconds left.
Was it really? Oh my god! But yeah, so Tyler Herro made a 3-point bucket and hurt the spread in that process. I did not invest, thankfully. I think Case from the likes of it sounds like he did invest.
No, I wanted to. I thought about it. I was going to, but I was too late.
Your wallet thanks you, and your timing is grateful for being late for the first time. It's a good thing to be late on that one. But let's talk about the Lakers.
The over-under was set at 218. So they were they were off by a bunch. We were well short of that.
Yeah. And I'm going to take a wild guess and say that if the next game is set around 218, it'll probably fall short as well. Just because I think this is what we saw tonight was, like Case talked about, was more expected in this series, more defense, a lot more chippiness, a lot more physicality. And the fatigue definitely played a role. But let's talk about the Lakers. They won the game. What did they do right? What did they look good? I'm going to go ahead and say right off the rip, I think that LeBron James load managed the first 2-ish quarters of this game. I think that he let the game come to him.
I don't think it's 2-ish. I think it was the whole first half.
Yeah, I mean, I only say ish because there were moments in which you could see LeBron almost turn it on and then turn it back off. It seemed as though he was just trying to keep the game close enough to where he could actually do something about it later when it mattered more. Um, there were a ton of chances where LeBron made the right pass and the guy missed the shot. The Lakers made 14 of 39 taken threes, 35%, which is about league average, like one tick lower than league average. But there were a lot of open shots missed, a lot of second chances that turned into good shots, especially from the likes of KCP, Morris, and Danny Green. They they did good tonight, I would say, respective to what we've seen prior to tonight. Shaban touched on it. The pieces of the Lakers: Caldwell Pope 15, Danny Green 10, Morris with 9, Caruso with 7, Kuzma with 9. Not amazing numbers, but those things add up in a game that only scores 102 points. Those points really did matter tonight.
Mm-hmm. And like Rondo didn't score a bunch in this game either. But
so Rondo's first bucket came to put the Lakers up 6 under 2 minutes remaining, and it was probably the biggest bucket of the game, apart from that 3 AD hit.
It was like that wide open drive to the lane, right?
Yeah, but you were about to make a point, Shaban, about Rondo. So go ahead and make that point. Otherwise, I'm going to make it.
Well, yeah, like Rondo, like he only scored like 2 points, but he had 5 assists, 7 rebounds. Played great defense through and through.
Rondo had what, 4 offensive rebounds?
Yeah, no, he had 2 offensive rebounds.
Okay, it looked like he had more because he was there on every missed shot.
Yeah, if he only had 2, he had at least 2 or 3 more just tap outs that landed in a Laker player's hand after he tapped it out of the paint. He was everywhere tonight.
Yeah, and
I think. All right, go ahead, Shaban. My bad.
No, like the Lakers had like 3 more offensive rebounds than Miami, and I'm pretty sure those all came in the fourth quarter.
Definitely. It looked like the Lakers had another level to get to, and they did in the fourth. The end of the third, you could feel it. In the fourth quarter, it felt like they went to another level. The box score does not seem to indicate that, by the way. The Lakers only won the fourth quarter by 1 point. It was 27-26.
Yeah.
But it really did feel like the Lakers were just a little bit more aggressive in the fourth quarter, and the free throw numbers do indicate that. The Lakers shot like 9 more free throws in the fourth quarter, but they still shot less for the game because the Miami Heat had so many in the first.
22 coming into the fourth.
Yeah. Had some good old fashioned playoff fouls, hard fouls on LeBron, just straight up hacking him, hitting him in the face.
I think LeBron's about to swing at Jay Crowder.
Yeah, I think he's tired of the bullshit. I think he's very much tired of the bullshit with Jay Crowder, especially tonight. You could tell. I mean, there were 2 times LeBron literally was about to go face to face, and it was broken up beforehand.
There was one time where LeBron just looked at him, and 2 refs ran in the middle.
I think LeBron is the least likely player on both teams to actually swing. I think it's more like I'm just going to talk my shit, and then because he knows he's not trying to get sent off, right? So he's not actually going to swing. But what did you guys see from the Lakers tonight that you guys liked? Because they won the game, so we're going to discuss them first.
All right, I love the way Rondo played. Mm-hmm. He might not have scored a bunch, he might not have filled up the box score, but you could see when the Lakers were struggling, Rondo just decided, I'm going to attack the basket. I'm going to put up some shots because they don't think I'm going to shoot. But if I go, they're going to have to crash on me and shit will develop. And Rondo went at the basket and missed 2, I think, point-blank layups. They weren't easy shots, but I think he still should have made them. But what that did was the Heat have to adjust for Rondo looking to score, and that's where he's at his most dangerous. He can move the ball around. Great passing, especially by the second unit. There was one play where I think KCP got it in the corner, drove baseline, and found AD at the top of the key. And then Markieff Morris made plays. Alex Caruso hustled. And, it hurt AD a little bit.
Yeah. For me, I mean, it's Anthony Davis. He just looked really aggressive, but not only that. I saw him making like really good cuts to the rim when ball handlers were making that dribble penetration, so that they were kind of like they try to get them the entry pass into the post, but Miami would go and help like immediately, like after they saw that coming, and they would like force a turnover from there. So they just kind of switched up strategies, and they just kind of let AD kind of make like cuts to the rim whenever he saw an open lane, or they ran like that more. They ran a lot of that AD high screen and roll, which which always works for the Lakers. And they don't not AD not only tried to look for his shot more, he hit like a bunch of big shots late in the game, but also the Lakers also were able to set it up that way that AD is able to get it going and get his shots going.
Yeah, and then he had 4 blocks tonight.
Yeah, huge blocks by AD.
That's what I wanted to discuss with Anthony Davis, especially in the first half of this game. The Miami Heat came with a game plan to basically stop him from being as effective as he can be. And they did a pretty good job in the first half. AD seemed extremely frustrated on the offensive end of on the floor in the first half of this game. You could tell in his body language. But the one thing I like to see in this game that we did not necessarily see last game was he did not let that affect him on the defensive side of the ball. He only had 4 blocks. It felt like he had a million because he adjusted other offensive.
Well, guess what? The Lakers only had 4 blocks.
Well, what I'm saying is the Miami Heat had so many times have to adjust. I mean, look, Tyler Herro literally floated the ball.
Yeah, that fast break layup.
Yeah, to the moon in order to get it up there because AD was there in the paint. There were so many shots that had to be adjusted because of what AD was doing tonight as a defender. His offensively, this was a fine game. 22 points, 8 of 16.
8 of 16.
Yeah, it's like not a bad game by any standards, but it's also not an amazing game. 4-4 from free throw. That's obviously low on the free throw end for Anthony Davis on what he's done all year. So Anthony Davis did not necessarily have a great offensive game. He had a good one, but defensively he was exceptional tonight. And I think that is what led to the Miami Heat taking a bunch of honestly pretty bad shots from outside in the 3 range. A lot of just jack up shots, especially in the low and towards the end of the third. There was a point where Kelly Olynyk took an off balance 3. Somebody gets a rebound, tosses it out. Iguodala takes a highly contested 3 in back-to-back plays. And it's like, those are not good shots. Eric Spoelstra is going to go back and say, we shouldn't be taking those shots. But it's because they couldn't drive. Anthony Davis was there clogging the paint. Dwight Howard only played 7 minutes tonight. AD played 41. There's a reason for that. It's Anthony Davis was just.
There's a reason J.R. Smith didn't play at all.
Anthony Davis was just a lot more effective tonight than he was, and I would say any of these games defensively. This was his best defensive performance by far in the finals.
Yeah, totally agree on that. Yeah.
Quick question for you guys. There was a point in the fourth quarter where Bam just threw up a prayer with the shot clock ending.
Yeah.
And the refs went to review it after a couple plays had already happened. Weird, have we seen that before?
I've never seen it. That was so weird. Normally they
So I've seen them go change a 2 to a 3 or a 3 to a 2.
That I've seen, yes.
But I've never seen them look at a play that's happened after the other team's already scored a basket.
Yeah, definitely. Well, in the moment, I was like, I've never seen anything like this before, and I would be hard-pressed for anyone to have seen anything like this before. However, the ref that called it off, like the shot clock went off before that, incredible.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah, that was...
It was close enough in real time for us at home watching on TV.
I thought he got it off.
I thought he got it off too.
Yeah, I thought he got off too.
Yeah, I thought the Heat were hard done by that call, and the ref.
I was already yelling by the TV.
I mean, good eye, because I really thought he got it off. Before we move,
that's what he gets paid for.
I mean, also big facts. Before we move on to the Miami Heat, what did we not like from the Lakers? Shama, do you want to start it off? We might have the same point. That's why I'd rather you start it.
What do we not like from the Lakers, or what we not like from the Miami Heat?
What do we not like from the
Lakers?
Like from the Lakers tonight. What would we want to see more of from the Lakers going forward in the next game? I mean, if it's nothing, it's nothing. That's totally fine.
I mean,
honestly, if you're stuttering,
I kind of need to like get. Well, I guess like Markieff Morris kind of like was like struggling with his shot, like after that sensational shooting from game 3. He's got to start hitting those looks. He had a lot of good looks too. He took 7 threes. He only hit 2 of them.
Yeah, some of them were open shots. Absolutely right. He's got
a lot of them were open shots. I didn't love the turnovers like early in the game, but they shaped up like later on.
Yeah, that was my
half.
thing. Hold on to the fucking ball.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
Granted, the Heat also had the same amount of turnovers, but it's too many.
Yeah,
especially if LeBron James is accounting for almost half of them.
The Lakers had 15 turnovers tonight. The Miami Heat had 11 turnovers tonight. It was a 4 turnover disparity tonight on the Lakers' behalf.
Okay, then the TV lied to me.
Yeah, and LeBron, I have it in front of me for a reason. LeBron had 6 of the Lakers' 15 turnovers. So he obviously had
5 of those turnovers came in the first quarter for LeBron.
Wow, I did not know that. I knew he had a bunch, and quite frankly, they did a really good job, the Miami Heat, especially early in the game, trapping him and playing good, aggressive defense. And that's what really led to the turnovers, I think.
From what I saw, like the turnovers from LeBron were just bad passes out of bounds.
I don't think he's used to seeing AD get fronted like that.
Yeah, right.
He got punked in the first,
especially by Jimmy Butler.
He got punked.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler was a menace.
We'll get there.
Always a menace.
Let's finish the Lakers before we move to the Miami because I have plenty to say, and I think you guys do too. For the Lakers tonight, the only thing I did not like that I want to see more of is the aggression going to the rack. They shot 39 3-pointers. Again, they've been shooting 35 plus, 40 plus 3-pointers in this series thus far. So this number isn't insanely high. It's about where they've shot the 3. But they shot 21 free throws, 11 or 12, I believe 12 of which came in the fourth quarter. So prior to that, they only shot, 10 free throws in the game, 9 free throws in the game. That's absurdly low. It's not because the Heat aren't fouling them. It's because we're not going to the rim. The Lakers need to go to the rim and attack the rim. And quite frankly, the Heat are doing a good job trying to block that off. Bam Adebayo coming back made a huge difference, right? A huge difference on the defensive and offensive end.
So I think going back to the free throws, all 4 of AD's free throws came in a 22-second span at the end of the third quarter.
That probably sounds about right. Well, he had 4 free throws. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, all 4 of them.
Yeah. So the Lakers just need to get more free throws. The Miami Heat had no problem getting to the line. They finished the game with 32 3-pointers. That's a lie. 26 free throws. They only had 4 in the fourth quarter. So coming into it, they had 22 in the first 3 quarters of the game, while the Lakers had barely 10. Clearly, some of the extra calls going in the fourth quarter were just Lakers being a little more aggressive, going to the rack, and that helps close that disparity. But the Lakers need to be a little bit more aggressive. And I think that we'll see both teams' best effort in Game 5. The Heat do not want to go home, and the Lakers are just about ready to go home. And they're going to try to close this thing out in Game 5. Let's move on to the Miami Heat. It seems like you guys are ready to talk about them. There's a lot of positives from the Miami Heat tonight. Kays, what did you like from Miami Heat tonight?
I like seeing Bam play with no minutes restriction, especially after missing 3 games.
He looked good, didn't he?
Right.
Well, 2.5 games. He looked great, actually.
He looked
apart from the foul trouble. Bam was fantastic.
Yeah, he got into foul trouble really early in the game, and he ended up getting taken out. But when he came back in, he was impactful. He was getting offensive rebounds. He was big defensive presence. And he was scoring a lot too, getting inside. If that shot was counted when the shot clock went off, he'd have 17 points. Right now he has 15 points, but Bam Adebayo had a great game. I agree.
Kays or Shaban, did you want to add anything?
I digress.
Tonight?
Well, I liked Kendrick Nunn for 5 minutes.
Well, he got 25 minutes, so you didn't like him for 20.
Yeah, he was buns. He was he hit those 2 big threes early in the game, and then I was just like, oh shoot, maybe he can really be something, and then he wasn't, and Kendrick Nunn, he's sort of getting his minutes back after completely losing them in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. I think in this final series is the first time he's played in the playoffs since 2 series ago.
He played against the Celtics.
He got a few minutes against the Celtics in game 2 or 3, and then was just tossed off the court after that. So he did not play much at all, but I think he got a few, or I know he got a few minutes, but it's negligible. I don't even blame you for not remembering that shit. It was very few, but yeah, I mean, what else? Kendrick Nunn, good to not so good, but what did you like? Well, genuinely, what did you like from the Miami Heat?
I like how Duncan Robinson was really getting his shot to go in, and I liked how they were running those routes for him, that he can just be able to come off the dribble handoff and just, rise up and hit that, and rise up straight up and just hit that 3. He got to the line a lot. He had 6 free throws, made all of them. Duncan Robinson, I said before that if Miami wants to stay competitive, then he's got to hit those. He's got to hit those looks, and he's been hitting them. And look at that. It's a single-digit game. It was a really close game through the wire. Tyler Hero as well. He proved that he wasn't all talk. He's had 21 points, 8 for 18, not all that efficient, but he made some big shots when he really needed to.
Definitely, third and fourth quarter especially.
Yeah. I think everyone will just remember when early in the first quarter, LeBron just sort of brushed him off like he was just a tumbleweed and just dunked it on him.
Look, the biggest thing is, before I talk about the positives of the Heat, I'm glad you brought that moment up. Tyler Hero made that scowl face at the end of the last game in game 3. And LeBron didn't forget it, right? Jamal Murray danced as well. Damian had his moment in the first. LeBron doesn't forget.
Russ danced. Yeah, everyone danced. Everyone made a face.
Yeah, LeBron doesn't forget those moments, and he's going to get you back. And so LeBron, brushed him off like a tumbleweed, like Shaban said, dunked the ball, and then went on the other side, blocked him, and then Anthony Davis blocked. He got bullied in the first quarter. He got bullied.
Yeah.
But genuinely, props to him from not letting that throw his game off. He's a 20-year-old rookie, and most guys would be like, all right, fuck, I got punked. He bounced back, and he had a really good second half, especially third and fourth quarter. When they needed him to score the ball, he was there for them. Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler, very good at basketball. Bam Adebayo was good. But I think I agree with you, Shaban. Duncan Robinson was the big bright point here. He didn't shoot as many three-pointers as I would like to see him shoot. He only shot 6.
3 of 6.
Exactly. But he was efficient, shot 50%, had 17 points. And by the way, he had no problem trying to go to the rim when that was available to him. He took some shots that he wouldn't normally take in his arsenal. And I think that helped the Heat keep this game tight. 17 points from Duncan Robinson is exactly a little bit higher, but exactly what you would want to see from him as a Heat fan. And knowing that they didn't all come from the three-point line is almost a good thing. It shows his game is evolving more than just what we know him to be.
Literally 2 of them didn't come from the three-point line.
Yeah, exactly. The only downside I would say for the Miami Heat is Bam Adebayo is a great basketball player. And I'm not trying to say that he shouldn't be playing. He's obviously should be playing. But they definitely missed in a weird way the spacing that Kelly Olynyk brought to them in the last 2 games. Did they not?
Yeah, it felt like it was harder for them to get a shot.
Yeah.
It did. It was obviously Laker defense. We have to credit that where credit is.
They upped the intensity, yeah, but I think not having Kelly Olynyk at the three-point line enables the Lakers to kind of help when Jimmy gets down on that low block.
Yeah, for sure. And I think they got to look to stagger those minutes better between Kelly Olynyk and Bam Adebayo.
I don't think
just
kind of
they won't, right?
I don't know if they will either.
Good. You need him on
they don't have a choice.
Yeah. I mean, you could also try staggering him out with Jay Crowder or switching him out with Jay Crowder here and there.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, look, Kelly is not a good defender by any standard, but when you're guarding the likes of Markieff Morris or someone of that caliber, he's probably not going to put the ball on the ground and drive by you anyway. So you can have a league average defender or even slightly below average in Kelly Olynyk's case, just stand out on the 3-point line. So yeah, you're right. If they play him at the 4 for a little bit, I don't think it'll kill them, to be honest, right? As long as those switches, look, the biggest thing the Miami Heat did tonight that I really, really liked, and they've been doing it all series, by the way, but they did it a lot tonight, is LeBron, for whatever reason, the Lakers will set a pick because Jimmy's guarding LeBron, right? Then they'll set a pick and they'll get the switch that either is Duncan Robinson or Tyler Hero, or in 1 or 2 cases, Kendrick Nunn, but it's mostly been Duncan or Tyler Hero. And then LeBron won't attack them, and mid-moment,
it'll allow him to switch.
He'll switch back. And Jimmy Butler would just come. I don't understand. First off, that's absolute genius by Eric Spoelstra going, LeBron's not going to attack. We'll just switch. There's 2 seconds, not really, 1 point, whatever seconds in between where LeBron could get both of those guys completely off guard if he wanted to. For whatever reason, he's not doing that. And it's a bit weird. It's not very LeBron-esque. If LeBron is anything, he is a smart, intelligent basketball player. And for whatever reason, he's allowing them to switch back. And he's almost waiting for them. He's inviting the switch back. And I don't understand why he's doing that. But the Miami Heat have done a fantastic job of doing that quickly.
What I've seen is that on a couple of those times when they do that, when they do that switch back, then LeBron just like takes advantage of that extra space he has, and he just pops a three.
The middle.
Or he just splits the middle, yeah.
I don't know. It felt weird. LeBron thankfully only shot 5 3-pointers, 2 of 5 from 3 tonight. LeBron had a 8 of 16 efficient game. So did Anthony Davis. So they played good. It just
it felt like it could have been better, right?
102 points seems low, but also for the Heat, 96 points also seems low. But from the Miami Heat, the biggest thing we talked about it, Bam Adebayo, Duncan Robinson, those guys look good. What did we not like from the Miami Heat tonight, and that we would like to see them do better for them to win Game 5? We're going to combine those two segments today because it's just the three of us, so we'll do it all together. Shaban, you want to start?
I think we already touched on it, right? I mean, just the whole the lack of spacing with the Miami Heat, the fact that they can't really get a lot more of their shots up than usual. Miami was the best 3-point shooting team this season, and they were the best 3-point shooting team so far in the playoffs. But it didn't quite look like that this game. I mean, Duncan Robinson had big shots, Tyler Hero hit big shots, but besides those guys, it doesn't look like anyone was really able to really get their shot up, or they were able to really get it going.
Hasn't it been like that the whole series though? Haven't they kind of, I wouldn't say struggled, but they haven't shot nearly as many threes as they would normally in the series? Is that not how it's been all 4 games?
That has to do with Dragic not being there.
That's true. Yeah. Dragic isn't there either.
That's a very good point, Kays. You're absolutely right there.
Bro, that video of him crying on Twitter when they told him he wasn't going to play, it killed me a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, of course. Look, as a Laker fan, as a basketball fan first, I want Goran Dragic on the court. I want the best Miami Heat team possible because we want good basketball. And by the way, we are still getting good basketball.
I'm a Goran Dragic fan from back in the day, Phoenix Sundays, bro.
Phoenix Sundays when he was sitting behind Steve Nash. And honestly, there was so much hype behind him. Every time he would play, you would see that there's something special there. And in moments in his career, he has been truly fantastic. And he was finding his rhythm in the bubble, in the playoffs. I mean, he was incredible in these playoffs. So to lose
Goran's biggest strong suit is the fact that he's not the most athletic guard, and he's not the most
shifty.
He plays a very intelligent brand of basketball. He really has European a good feel for the game. Though. I mean,
that's literally European basketball.
Yeah, that's true. So I think what we're all three of us are saying is the Heat would really benefit in Game 5 of having Goran Dragic back. But
they would, but I don't think he'll be there.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening. So then let's discuss what the Heat actually would benefit from. What do they need to do to win Game 5?
They need to shoot more threes.
I feel like we've said that after every single game so far, haven't we?
Right? We have, but it's something they're so good at during the season. It's something they were so good at in the bubble itself. It makes no sense as to why they've given up that strategy.
I'm not saying you're wrong for that criticism. I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's just it is the same criticism we've held since Game 1, 2, 3, and 4. The Miami Heat have not shot enough threes.
Yeah. Well, one thing I did notice is that late in the fourth, the Miami defense sort of regressed, and they just resorted to just fouling.
That's fatigue.
I'm pretty sure it's fatigue, and it's chippy and it's good, good old fashioned playoff fouls. But I think they, the way that I think they can try to take a play from LeBron's book on how to sort of load manage throughout the first period, or try to load manage where they can.
I don't think they can.
They need to play with control, but the team they're playing against doesn't allow them to play with that kind of control. The Miami Heat have to come out and look to punch in the mouth. They have to play pedal to the metal from tip off. And I think late in games, maybe not the first couple of games, but especially now that it's been 4 games in 8 days, it's getting to them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they have to play a more controlled basketball. I think sometimes they're rushing too much and they're making simple mistakes. Mm-hmm. And also what Shaban said, you can't get to the fourth quarter and just start fouling when you've only allowed 9 or 10 free throws in the first 3.
Mm-hmm. Even in the first period, like Bam Adebayo, he had like 3 quick fouls early on, and he just started to get really frustrated and really flustered throughout. And
well,
I
you
feel
saw
like
that with
AD
last game too.
Yeah.
So it's not abnormal to see that.
The game speed got away from Bam in the first quarter. I think as the game went on, he settled in pretty nicely, I would say, and impacted the Heat well. I think I agree with you guys. They have to shoot more threes. And this 3-day or 2.5 day? Yeah, 3-day, right? Yeah, 3 days, 2.5 days.
They play Friday night.
Yeah, they'll play Friday night. So this 2.5 days that they'll have kind of to recoup their bodies on both sides, both Lakers and Heat, obviously. I think both teams will benefit heavily from it.
Yeah.
I mean, heavily. Because you could
AD took a beating today.
You could see the amount of fatigue on both teams in serious moments today. I mean, like I said, LeBron looked like he was taking the first half off. A lot of times other guys just kind of seemed to be on the back, on their heels almost. They weren't on their toes. It didn't feel as good. And then it got chippy towards the end, like Shaban talked about, and Caves points out that's because of fatigue, and that's probably true. It's probably because the game was close enough to where there's no reason to be that frustrated to be, Jay Crowder grabbed LeBron's arm one time or pushed him in the back another time. And those fouls Jay Crowder is not a dirty player by any stretch of the imagination. He's just tired. It's hard to guard LeBron when LeBron is load managed the first half of the game. And now Jay Crowder has to guard that guy who's ready to eat. But I like seeing Jimmy Butler on LeBron. I think he did. Obviously, it's hard to stop LeBron James, but he did a pretty good job, I would say, on LeBron. He kind of mucked it up and made it a little more difficult.
Did you see late in the game? Yeah. Did you see late in the game where Jimmy Butler kind of pushed Alex Caruso into AD's legs?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
He pushed him?
He definitely pushed him. If you watch the replay, he launches Caruso at AD.
So I saw
it was for no reason too. It was just no fucks.
So obviously that moment was seeing AD on the ground and I saw Caruso, fly.
I had a heart attack, bro.
Right. And obviously that is extremely concerning as not just a basketball fan, but also a Laker fan. Heavily concerning. And every time Anthony Davis hits the ground, I'm not going to lie to you, I get a little scared. I just get a little scared.
Bro, there's literally a string of 7 straight possessions where AD was shooken up. He gets hit in the face so many times for someone who's 7 fucking feet tall.
Dude, for real, AD really does get hit in the face a lot. It's kind of weird. It's really, really weird how much he gets smacked in the face.
You're 7 feet tall. Just fucking stand up.
Yeah, I know. He does this kind of face up where he's leaning down towards I think there was this one
there was a play where Iguodala slapped him.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Yeah.
He got elbowed by Kelly Olynyk.
All right, boys, before we get out of here.
Poked in the eye by Jay Crowder. What the fuck is going on?
Before we get out of here, let's go ahead and do the 2 things that we always do in all these post-game reaction pods. Finals MVP case, if the Lakers win.
LeBron James.
And if the Heat win?
Yeah, it's LeBron.
Jimmy Butler.
Okay,
Jimmy
I agree
Buckets.
with that. Shaban, it seems like you agree with that as well. LeBron James, Jimmy Butler. Does the series end Game 5 Friday, Shaban?
I'm going to say it does. I'm going to say it's over on Friday.
Yeah, I think it's over on Friday.
I agree with you both. I think I hate how much we agree, but it also makes sense because we're on a podcast and we're also best fucking friends. So it makes sense that we agree on a lot of these takes. But I promise you, listener, next season, we'll bring the heat a little differently. In the meantime, pun intended, by the way.
Yeah, I won't watch any basketball.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
I'm just going to come in and be on a podcast.
We're going to be a football podcast after Friday.
Kays is going to go full Skip Bayless and just not watch the games. He's just going to spew garbage out of his mouth. The best.
I'm just going to be on Twitter reading other people's comments about him and come in with that opinion.
The look ahead line for Friday is Lakers minus 7.5. Over under is 217 for those wondering at home. Get on those lines.
Under. I'm going way under.
Get on that under as soon as possible. It will go down very, very, very quickly. In the meantime, thanks for listening. We'll see you Friday night. Let's hope it's a really fun game and a really good game. And if it's all over, then let's hope it was worth it. Thank you for listening.
Real quick.
Yes.
No. You can find us at Waterboy and Equipment Manager on Instagram and Waterboy Manager on YouTube and Twitter.
Well, you kind of botched out. You kind of botched.
No, I set it up. If you search Waterboy Manager on YouTube, we pop up.
Oh, really? Bet. Okay, cool. All right. Well, then in that case, for me, Shaban and Kays, we'll see you Friday night. See ya.
Peace.
Bye.